What is up, everybody? It is your boy Johnny back here with another video. Today, in this video, I'm going to show you something that I acquired in my collection recently, probably in the past couple of weeks, and I've been wanting to show it. It's an album I just added to my collection. But before I do that, I just want to tell you what I'm going to do in this video. So, I'm going to tell you the story of how I acquired this album, and I want to share some more information about it. It really is unreal, what I found and what I was able to acquire from another person. And yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and get started with this video. Before I show you what I acquired from my collection, I just want to tell you a little bit of the story, and then I will show you this amazing find I found, man. This is truly, honestly and truly, probably the most valuable album of my collection as far as condition, rarity, everything. And so let's just get started. It started, I think, on August 13th. It was pretty late at night. It was about 9:30 at night. You know, I was bored, settling down, about to go to bed. I think I was off that day. I was off for a couple days in a row. And I was just surfing on Facebook, just bored. And I'm part of a lot of Elvis groups. On one of the Elvis groups I was on, somebody posted a whole bunch of hodgepodge things, whole bunch of pictures to, sell some Elvis items she had. It was many things. There was trading cards, a lot of stuff from the 90s, stuff from the 70s, a lot of magazines, a lot of newspapers, just like little hodgepodge type of things. But then she also had albums in it. And so, but the albums, there was many to choose from, but there was a lot of pictures. And I think if somebody was impatient, they wouldn't have took the time to look at all these pictures, because there was probably about 30 or 35 pictures on this post. So I'm just going through, checking it really quick. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing, framed gold records. I'm seeing all these different types of magazines and newspapers, all these different things. And then I started seeing pictures of albums. So I'm going through. There was a lot of pictures of albums. And it was one of the last photos on this post. And when I saw this, I immediately contacted this person right away. And I said, hey, how much do you want, or what price do you have on this album? And the person told me to circle it. So basically, I did a screenshot of the photo, and I highlighted it with like an editor thing on my phone, and I circled the album that I wanted. And then she told me the price, and I was floored. I was like, this is unreal. Really, people, what I acquired here is once in a lifetime. The deal I got, the way it happened, right place, right time, all that. So now I'm going to show you what I got. You guys ready for this? This is great. I have a beautiful, beautiful copy of Elvis's first album debut, original. Now I'm gonna show you all the condition and everything for this thing in a minute, but let me continue my story. So she sent me the pictures, and it came with this baggie on it. Now I don't know if this is the original baggie. I'm assuming it is, because of the way it looks, how old it looks. Because back then in the 50s, when these albums came out, they did not come sealed. They came in bags, from what I understand. From what I gathered from information from other people and just being around it a long time, collecting myself, that they came in baggies. So she took a picture of the album with the baggie on it. And then she decided to take a picture without the baggie on it. And when I saw the condition of this album, man, I was floored. I was blown away. All the good things. And then she also took a picture of the vinyl, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Beautiful. I mean, can't complain. So I'm trying to make this happen so it's sold really quick. I'm hoping that no one else is, on the same spectrum that I am with this album. So I'm talking to her, going back and forth. She's being very responsive. I'm being very responsive. And I told her I would like to have it. And I asked her how much she wanted for this. Let me tell you right now, It costs more to ship it than to buy it. Okay. Um, I paid, believe it or not, I know so there's gonna be some people who are not gonna believe this. Hold on to your seat. I paid $10 for this album. Unreal, man. And and I thought to myself, even though it looked authentic, I'm like, what if it is fake? But it's not. It's not fake. I'm like, if it is, I'm just out $10. Big shit. Excuse my language. Um, but so then after that, she mailed a priority, packed it very well. Um, I got it sent to my friend's house because they have it in a locker. I got it insured, got it signed, signed signature for the priority mail and whatever. And I was anticipating this, and I got it, I think, in 2 days. And so I went to my friend's house. My friend was excited for me. He's not an Elvis fan. He doesn't collect Elvis, but he's like, dude, I'm excited for you. Because I told him about it, before I got it, or after I purchased it, before it came. He's like, dude, I'm excited to see this thing. Like, he was there when I opened it. He was blown away too. He's like, no freaking way, man. No freaking way. So it's just amazing. You never know what can happen, man, out there when you're collecting and when you're looking. You never know what you can find, and this is probably the best deal I ever got in collecting. I mean, what can get better than this? Maybe a That's Alright 45 or something, or a demo. I don't know, but still, man, the chances of this is unreal. So I'm gonna stop talking now. I know you guys probably maybe want to see the condition on this, so let me just show you, man. And also after I show you this, I want to show you condition. I have two other versions. Um, Original pressings of this album, which I want to show and compare because I noticed something, and I'll show you in a minute. So let me just show you the condition of this album. So again, like I said, when I got it from her, it came in this baggie. And again, I'm assuming it's original just by looking how old it is, how worn out it is. But thank God this was on this because it can protected it from this. Because if you look at this cover, there is really no wear. Really no staining. It's ridiculous. All the seams are intact. It's crazy. So let me just go ahead and show you the whole schmeal. So I want to try to get the whole thing in there. So there you go. Here's the front cover. Look at it. Beautiful, man. Nowhere really to report at all. There's this right here. This is like an ink spot, probably from the ink when the slick was put on. Right there. Beautiful condition, very little wear right here. Really, you can't even notice it. Just a beautiful cover. And all the seams, beautiful, no damage whatsoever. You can see the spine and see the bottom seam. It's very hard. As time goes on, it's already hard to find this album in good shape, but this is just ridiculous. And as you can see on the back, same. No, this is common on this album. I see this on these are even on my other pressings I have. This little spot is weird. I don't know. Maybe that's where the cover met the spines on here. I don't know. But anyways, when it was made. But look at the back, man. Look at that. Basically pure white. No staining to report. Very beautiful. And the cool part is that this came with the original inner sleeve, which I decided just to put right into the original cover because I have it in a MoFi sleeve. And I'm going to show you the vinyl in a minute. But look at the sleeve, man. Freaking beautiful. It's just no words to describe. No words. It's not even split. So this is already going to tell you that this album didn't get messed with a lot. It didn't get and the vinyl probably did not get a lot of play. And you're going to find that that's probably true too. So let me just go ahead and show you the vinyl on this thing, all right? Crazy. So when I was looking at the pictures of this album and the person who listed it sent me photos of the vinyl, I'm like, the vinyl looks unplayed. So when this package arrived at my friend's house, I was looking at the whole thing, I looked at the vinyl. People, I mean, it has some flaws, very minor. It had a lot of fingerprints on it and some dirt and dust and whatever, but not horrible considering. And my friend, luckily, has a VPI machine, a record cleaning machine. And so when I opened up, he gave me a MoFi sleeve. I said, I don't want to put in a MoFi sleeve yet. I said, do you mind if we clean it on your machine? And he's like, oh, hell yeah, dude, let's do it. So, and I wish I recorded that when it happened, was not thinking in the moment, because I could have showed you how dirty it was compared to how it looks now. But maybe I can pull up the old photos and I can show you how it did look. So maybe I'll add that in this video. I came over at his house. I think a week later we were hanging out. I brought this album back over, and we cleaned it. And we put it right after I cleaned it, put it in this fresh, nice MoFi sleeve. So let me show you the condition of this vinyl. So it has really no fingerprints on it, nothing like that. And just to let you all know, this is from the Rockaway plant. And the numbers on it is a 17S and 11S. So no, it is not one of the first ones off the line, which I do own one of those, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let me just show you the vinyl on this, man. The side one, there really is nothing crazy to report. There's like maybe one really noticeable scratch, very few hairline scratches, very few paper scuffs. This album was not handled a lot. So first, let me show you it like this. This is the vinyl of side one. Look at that. Look at that, man. You can see a little bit of the imperfections, but really nothing crazy. It's on the ring light, the label. Look at that. No spindle wear, no wear whatsoever on the label. Amazing. Now the biggest mark on the album is actually on side two, which I'll show you in a minute, but let me just show you side two as a whole. Here is side two again. Nothing really to report like that if you look at it. And same with the label itself. Beautiful. Now, this is the only mark on here that is really noticeable on the whole record itself. And it's this mark right here. It's in between bands 1 and 2, in between Tutti Frutti and Trying to Get to You. Now, unfortunately, guys, I have not had a chance to listen to this because, again, my record player does not. I need a new needle on it, and now I am really motivated to get a needle because I just been putting it off because I don't need to listen to my albums, but after this has been cleaned, I really want to listen to it and hear how it sounds. Seeing that this is almost a 70-year-old record and what beautiful shape it's in. I mean, no words to describe, man. I'm sure this video doesn't even do it justice, but it's just really great. Really great. Alright, so now since I'm showing you guys this album, I think this is also a really good opportunity to show you what I've been doing with my collection. Now, with my collection, I recatalogued my whole collection on Discogs, which it was very, oh my gosh, a lot of work. Very tiring, very exhausting, but it is done. As far as my Elvis collection goes, I still got to do, well, the albums go, not the 45s. I still need to do that. It's going to take a while. But anyways, this is what I've been doing. So I recently acquired a label maker. So I've been doing this. I've been putting like codes on it to identify it. So if I ever go out, because I'm at a point of collecting, man, I get different pressings now. Maybe different pressing plans, different variation of labels, covers, whatever, all that good stuff. So what I do to identify them, I put them on here, and then I match it up with matches on Discogs. So right here I have, it says OG, that means, original pressing. Then you see a R in quotations, which that's the pressing plan it came on. So sometimes you'll see on these other ones I have, you'll see an I, you'll see an H for the Hollywood, the I is for Indianapolis. And then you got the R for the Rockaway plant in New Jersey. And then on some of them, not all, but some I like to put the stamper numbers on them for fun. And so this one is a 17S and 11S. So obviously this isn't one of the first ones off the line, but it's probably still from 1956 because this album was a huge seller. I would say, I don't know, I'm just throwing a number out there. Maybe this came out in mid-56. I think the original album came out in March. Maybe this one was pressed sometime in the summertime, but I really don't know. Couldn't really tell you. I would like to acquire some more information on that if I could. Maybe Robert from Collecting the King is watching this episode. I hope he is. But yeah, so yeah. So that's what I've been doing with my collection. So when I also originally got this album, because of the shade of pink it is, I said, you know what? I think I have an album, but it looks different in pictures than in person. So I'm like, you know what? I have another copy of this album. I'll probably sell it off depending on what pressing it is. I was really talking about the pressing plant it came from. That's really what I was talking about. Not so much the cover, because from what I understand, there's always only been two variations, other variations of the the pink on Elvis in the title. Well, I think there's actually three, and I'm going to show you right now. So these are the other copies I own. Now these are also marked with the labels on the sleeve too. So according to my collection that I have, this is the earliest version I have, judging by the label and the markers. From what I understand, this is the earliest version of Elvis's first album. Is the very, very light, faint pink in Elvis and in Presley. Now, this one's also in beautiful shape for its age, too. Cannot complain. Does it look as good as that one, the one I just acquired? No, but it is still all intact. There's nothing major to report. There's just a very tiny split there. You can barely there, but this is beautiful. Anyone would love to have this in their collection. It's starting to fray a little bit, so I really don't mess with this a lot. But this is nice, and this is the PD credit version. And this one is, I need to put a new label on this because it's a clear one. But it says OGI for Indianapolis Press. It says 3S1S, and this is the PD credit version. But some of the earliest versions of this album, from what I understand, is the PD credit on the song Just Because, which later versions, which I have, I'm going to show you next. Another version I have has the correct songwriter credits on it. This version I have, this third and final version I have of a first pressing of Elvis's debut album. This is the one I consider getting rid of because I thought it was the same shade of pink as the new one I got, but this is not. This is the other known version of the cover of the original press that people know of. And this is, I feel like, the one that people want the most. And it's this version of his album. Oh, and by the way, this one and the last one I just showed you, they both have their original sleeves. They're like the rice paper sleeve. So I think that's also, it indicates that it's an early version of Elvis's first album. But anyway, so this is like a darker pink, almost like a dark neon pink. This is in good shape too. This just shows wear right here on the top. Again, nothing crazy. Now there is, I would say, about an inch separation right here in the middle of the top seam. But everything else is intact, the spine. So this is still very good. And same with the vinyl. Is it as good as the other one again? The first one I showed you? No, of course not. Because that's just a strong copy all the way around. And this is still pretty strong. Again, people would still love to have this version in their collection. So I plan on selling this, but when I got my new one, I just got home, I noticed that they were different. And here's how they are different. So, I don't know if people ever actually really noticed this, but there really is, I guess, or maybe it's just because the ink, maybe when it was getting ran, the ink was running out and it turned to this light shade of pink. I don't know, man. There could be many, many theories. But as you can see, the first pressing, the earliest pressing I have is this very light pink. The second first pressing, I guess you can say, and these are both from the same plant. These are from Indianapolis. This is like a dark neon pink. And the one I just acquired, this is like a salmon pink. And this is from the Rockaway pressing. So I just don't know if people are familiar that there could be three different covers, really. Different shades of pink. Or again, maybe it's just, it was initially supposed to be this color. But maybe the ink, maybe on the machine when it was printing these, was fading and it faded to that. I mean, I really don't know. It's just theories I have. But still cool. And plus they're from different pressing plants. They're really different covers. So I decided to keep all three of my versions. But yeah, so that's really all I wanted to show you with that. So it's cool. So, I have this album. I got it professionally cleaned on a record cleaner. And now I also have a frame for this. I'm going to put this thing right on the wall in a nice frame. Keep the vinyl separate from it. So let's actually go ahead and do that now, shall we? Okay, I don't know if it's going to stay in this spot, but this is how it looks on the wall, and the frame looks beautiful, man. Just beautiful. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want this to hit sun. I don't want the album cover to hit like direct sunlight. So it's probably not gonna stay here. But you know what, man? It looks good in that frame. That's where it's gonna stay and stay preserved and nice for years to come, man. Just so happy. Awesome. Looks good. That's really all I really want to show you with my new Grail, man. I was so excited. I'm like, God, I can't wait to make this video. I've been wanting to make it. It just goes to show you, man, for real. You never know what's out there. And honestly, I don't know the story behind this. I don't know if the person I bought it from, maybe they inherited it from somebody who passed away. I never really asked them. But I also did purchase more albums from this person that I purchased this album from. And eventually I'm going to show all those. I think I got about 8 albums, and I think I got 1 EP out of the deal. So I will show those eventually because I don't have them with me right now. But and I think they're in the same if they're in the same condition like this, man, a lot of the albums I get of those, I won't ever have to upgrade ever again because this is just unreal, man. This is something that happens every now and then. I remember one time I was at a record show, probably almost 5 years ago. I found a beautiful copy of the Surf album for $500, and I don't know if it was the same shade pink or maybe like that. It was definitely wasn't a light one. It was probably, if anything, that dark neon pink or this version, like this salmon pink. But um, I regret not getting it at the time. I'm like, man, I should have bought it. Because I bet if I offered that guy at the record show 250, the type of guy he was, he probably would have took it, and I would have had a beautiful copy then. But it's okay. You know, time's passed. I have this, and I'm very happy. This is honestly and truly probably is, out of all my albums, as far as the whole package goes, condition, rarity, so being sought after, this is probably my most valuable album in my collection, I think, now. And I have some, you know, pretty sought after stuff that people would love to have in their collection. I'm very thankful to have them. But this is the ultimate right here, man. Because this album got played. This was a huge album that came out. This is Elvis' debut album. It's almost 70 years old. It's just you don't find it in this shape, man. You just don't. And I'm very blessed and fortunate that I was the fortunate one to get this album. All right. At this point, I'm just rambling, people. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to share this with you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Before I sign off, I just want to say, again, I sell on eBay. Now I sell internationally through eBay to international buyers. So if you guys are interested, people overseas, check out my store. Like if you haven't liked or subscribed to this channel, please consider doing that. I appreciate everybody's support. I've been getting a lot of views, a lot of view hours, a lot of subscribers lately, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every one of you guys. So thank you all very much for viewing this video, and hopefully I will see you all in the next video. So see you later, and goodbye.